Hey, what's going on, guys? Whoopi Goldberg here, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be finishing the position part of my top 10 series with the top 10 overall right fielders. The only video that I will have left to do after this is the top 10 relief pitchers, and if I decide to, a top 10 overall player. But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the top 10 right fielders, and guys, I just want to say I'm sorry that I wasn't able to do a whole lot of anything last week. I explained why I couldn't on my stream yesterday, and I'm also sorry that I haven't been able to upload standalone videos either. I've been streaming a lot in lieu of making videos, and I think that that's kind of a mistake on my part. I just got kind of busy with my tournament and all that, so I didn't really feel like I had the time to make a whole lot of videos, but that's gonna change. I'm gonna be making a lot more standalone videos, and the Witcher series will be continuing starting tomorrow. Now that I've got all my issues and everything sorted out, so be on the lookout for that if that's something that you're interested in. But yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the top 10. Starting out with a couple of honorable mentions, the 95 overall Andre Dawson. He's a really solid card, and he's not as good as his 99 overall version, but this is still a really effective card. He's one of the best defensive right fielders that you'll be able to find out there, and he has a lot of pop. The only thing that kind of holds this card back is just that he doesn't have the speed or the offensive ceiling that some of the other guys on this list do, but he was very, very close to making it. And the other guy that almost ended up making it but just couldn't quite squeeze in there was the 93 overall Mookie Betts. I'm a big fan of this card because he can also play second base, so it adds a little bit of positional versatility to him. He has some speed, he has some fielding, he's a good hitter all the way around. Even though he's kind of unspectacular, he's still very solid, and you know, he's a top 12 card, top 12 right fielder, no doubt. I couldn't find a way to squeeze him into the top 10. Coming in at number 10 is the 96 overall Tony Gwynn, and this card is kind of like a poor man's Ichiro. And guys, before you say, why isn't Ichiro on this list? Why isn't Ichiro on this list? The reason is because that Ichiro card that you get for completing the AL West is technically a center fielder. So that's the reason why he's not going to be on the top 10 right fielder list. But this Tony Gwynn card does a damn good job of kind of replicating that Ichiro card. And versus righties, he even has a little bit of power. So yeah, you're going to be hitting a lot more home runs than you would with an Ichiro card. And but he's a great fielder, one of the best defensive right fielders in the game. He has a lot of speed, and he is a contact machine, obviously. Like any Tony Gwynn card should be, he's going to be getting on base a ton for you. But he just doesn't have enough power to get any higher on the list. And all the other guys on this list, they have, you know, just obscene power numbers, and this guy just didn't quite cut it whenever he went up against those guys. At number 9, we have the 92 overall JD Martinez, and I know what you're thinking. His hitting stats look unbelievable. Looks like a top 5 right fielder. Well, there's there's actually two things that kind of keep this card down. One, he is not that good defensively. He does have a pretty strong arm and everything, but he is not going to be getting to any balls out there at all. Like, he's not going to have any range at all. He also kind of has low vision, so your PCI isn't going to be as big as I typically want it to be. But the major thing that holds this card back is that he has the one-handed long swing, the worst swing in the game. So he's probably going to be generating a lot of topspin for you, and it's going to be pretty tough to hit as many home runs as you would think you would with 98, 94 power. So that's what keeps this card down at number 9. Let's move on to the number 8 player. At number 8, we have the 99 overall Dave Winfield, and this card kind of suffers from the same issue that the JD Martinez does. My dog is in the background barking right now. He kind of suffers from the same problem. He has that one-handed long swing, and that one-handed long swing just it hurts him so much, because if this guy played to his attributes, he would probably be maybe the best right fielder in the game, because he has an absolute cannon of an arm. He has, you know, fairly good range. He has a little bit of speed. He has amazing vision. His PCI is always going to be really big. He's got power. I mean, this is a great, great looking card, but he has a terrible swing, and that just destroys this card's value. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, it may hurt his value so much that I might want to like go back and think about putting Mookie Betts or Andre Dawson or both of them on the list and taking out maybe JD and Dave Winfield. But I'm not going to do that because I do think that this card is good. The things, basically everything that it does make this card marginally better than those cards, but the swing really makes that a pretty close proposition. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this card, but I can see why some people would want to give him a shot, just to see if they can make his swing work, because if you can, this card's going to be basically a phenom. Coming in at number 7 is the 95 overall Giancarlo Stanton, and this isn't a card for me. It's not the type of card that I typically go for because against righties, he doesn't have very good contact and his vision isn't really all that great at all. But another thing is that it's a very, very similar card to this 93 overall Giancarlo Stanton. The only difference really is that this one gets plus 10 to his vision, which is good. He has a better arm and he's marginally faster, but that's about it. There really isn't a whole lot to separate these two cards, and they're just not my type of card. If he had maybe 80 contact versus righties and 60 vision, I would be all over this card. But the fact that against righties your PCI is going to be so tiny, it's just not my type of card. I'll just say that. But there are a lot of people who do really well with a small PCI, and if you are one of those guys, this card will be an absolute monster for you. He's a decent fielder. He's got, okay speed. He's not like super slow or anything like that. And he's just got power coming out of his eyeballs. Like if you can square up a ball, it's going to be hit harder than probably anybody can hit a ball in this game. It's just a matter of getting your PCI to the ball so you can square it up effectively. But yeah, it's a good card. It's just not my type of card. So yeah, moving on to number 6. At number 6, we have the 99 overall Al Kaline, and I love this card because of his defense. He's probably the best, second best, maybe third best defensive right fielder in the game. He's got an incredible arm. He's got incredible range. He's very, very reliable with his glove. And, typically to get defense like that, you do have to sacrifice a little bit on offense. And that's really not true with this card because he has a huge PCI. He has great contact. The only thing that kind of lags behind a little bit is his power. He has 8174 power. That's not great, but that's not bad. Like, that's, very, very, very workable, very solid, and it puts him in the upper echelon, in the upper half of the diamond right fielders when it comes to power. But it's not great. I can see why people would maybe rather go for maybe rather go for a guy who has like 99, like the Giancarlo Stanton. But me personally, if you give me that big PCI and to go along with like workable power, give me that guy because I can make the power work. I can get the ball out with 81 power. I mean, I can do that. But a lot of people, man, they want that 99 power. So I'm kind of rambling here. I love this card. I love the defense. I love the contact and vision. And I don't think you really have to sell out a lot of power in order to get this card. And I think this is kind of an underutilized card. I may start using him in some ranked seasons. I may do that. This card is pretty tempting. I forgot to eat my fucking Wheaties this morning. I'm fucking rambling, man. At number 5 is the 94 overall Aaron Judge, and if there's one card that I overrated in this top 10, I think it's gonna end up being this Aaron Judge card. I kind of compared him to the Stanton just because they're such comparable players and their cards are no different. They're very, very comparable. But I do kind of have a slight preference for this, for the Aaron Judge, because while the Stanton has really good contact versus lefties, I value the contact versus righties a little bit more. So, in my opinion, you'll be facing righties more than you'll be facing lefties. So it just has a little bit more value to be better hitting righties than, and maybe you're nerfed against lefties just a little bit. But yeah, I do like this card, but number 5, like, is this card really better than the Al Kaline? Is he really better than, you know, the Stanton? I don't know. It's pretty close. 5 through 7 were all kind of jumbled together, pretty close, and it was hard to separate them out. But just because this guy is better against righties, I ended up giving him the nod. Coming in at number 4 is also going to be kind of a controversial pick, but I put the 92 overall George Springer at 4, and I wanted to put the flashback Springer at number 4, but for whatever reason they have him as a center fielder. I guess that's correct, but it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of weird to me that this card is a right fielder and the other one is a center fielder. Let me double check on that. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's a center fielder. So yeah, we had to go with the 92 overall George Springer, and I like this card. And the thing that I know a lot of people are going to say, well, why do you like this card so much? He doesn't have the power that Stanton and Judge have, and his contact and vision's basically the same. So what separates this card out? It's his swing. I know a lot of people make fun of me for weighting swing too heavily and everything, but this George Springer has an incredible swing. He hits for power to all fields. You can be late, you can be early, you can be right on the money, and it's just gonna fly off your bat at like 100 plus exit velocity all the time. His swing is just legendary, and it also helps that he has some speed and he has a good arm, and he's kind of rangy out there in right field. This guy is kind of a 5-tool type player, even though some of his tools are just like kind of average to slightly above average. This is a great player. And I would definitely, if you want to run like a live series type team, I mean, look at my stats right here: 158 plate appearances, and I'm hitting 444 with tons of home runs. Good, he's amazing. So yeah, if you're wanting to run more live series players out there, maybe to get quirks and stuff like that, I don't know, this guy is definitely a good option. I think that he's probably the best. Well, no, because Bryce Harper is in there. Yeah, he's one of the best live series right fielders in the game. So yeah, 92 overall George Springer at number 4. At number 3, we have the 99 overall Reggie Jackson, and I've never really used this card like a ton. I don't have one freaking plate appearance with this guy, but this is all just going off hearsay, what people tell me and stuff like that. But what people tell me is that this card is an absolute monster at the plate, that he hits so many home runs, that he just launches the ball. And I've had so many people come up to me and tell me that, or tell me that on message boards or whatever, that I have to kind of start to believe it, and so yeah, I definitely think that this card is a top 3 right fielder, and the fact that he has great contact and great power and good vision, and he has power that's comparable to the Judge or the Stanton, but he also has really good contact and vision, and he's also left-handed. So there's a lot to like about this card, and yeah, he comes in at number 3. Sorry, I don't have a lot to say about this card other than people tell me he's awesome, because I haven't used him a whole lot, but yeah, 99 Reggie Jackson at number 3. You heard it here first, folks. Ted Williams is not the number 1 right fielder in MLB The Show, at least this version of Ted Williams, but he is number 2. This Ted Williams is pretty freaking amazing. I mean, 95-89 versus righties, 84-90 versus lefties with 93 vision. You're going to be working with an incredibly big PCI, and just like every other Ted Williams, he has the best freaking swing in the game. He has that two-handed compact swing. He's going to be launching the ball, left and right. This card really isn't that much worse than the 99 overall version. It's just that, his attributes do come down just like a little bit hitting, but they're still good enough where this guy is going to be a monster for you. The big decision that you have to make with this guy is, do you want to sacrifice the defense? Because he is terrible out in the field. He is a horror show out there out in the field, but you can maybe try to stick him at first base or something, but even if you stick him in right field or in left field, I don't think he's going to kill you, and I think what he brings at the plate is probably enough to outweigh that defensive hit that you're going to take. But yeah, who is the number 1 right fielder? If it's not this guy, then who is it? I think you guys already know, but let's go ahead and move on. It's the 99 overall Bryce Harper. Of course it is. This card has been a stud ever since he came out in Battle Royale. Everybody loves this card. Everybody wants this card. As you can see, he'll cost 500,000 stubs probably all year. He's just a monster, dude. 97-99 versus righties, 94-91 versus lefties. He has a good swing. Only knock on this card offensively is his vision. So you know, your PCI might not be as big as you're used to, or is it like I'm used to, because vision is a really important stat for me. But that's okay, man. Whenever you're 90 plus in the contact department, your PCI is going to be fine. It's nothing really to worry about. Fielding wise, he's not going to be an elite defensive player for you, but he'll still be serviceable. And his cannon of an arm, he does have a very, very good arm. So that's going to kind of make him play up a little bit. And he even has a little bit of speed to kind of sprinkle in there, you know, just like a little sprinkle on top. He's got 71 speed. He doesn't have enough stealing to be a consistent threat whenever he's on base, but you know, he can stretch a double into a triple and a single into a double every now and then. Like that's within his wheelhouse. So yeah, overall just a fantastic card and an offensive monster, just a juggernaut offensively, one of the best hitters in the game overall. And yeah, that earns him a #1 spot in the top 10 right fielder list. Yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this video, though. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you're as glad as I am that I'm back to making these top 10 videos. I plan on trying to get, once I finish this, I plan on doing the trying to get back into the all-time series, and I also have a new series that I'm kind of have in the works right now that I plan on debuting next week that I think you guys are really gonna like. But yeah, until then, I will see you guys later. Peace.